Fascinating. I got a comment on my YouTube channel, and somebody said something about Chifi and how they're killing it this year, 2020, and they're really crushing the traditional market. Companies like Sony, 64 Audio, Empire Ears, Unique Melody, some of the more expensive stuff. And I thought to myself, no, they're just moving the money. The people that buy the budget stuff in Chifi probably spend more over the course of 12 months than somebody that buys a Sony and then is done for the year. And maybe next year they'll check in, like, what's the big killer? Is anything taking that down? Because they got family and they're in and they're out. And I know of people like that. They comment on my channel. They just watch. There are people in the budget arena that bought the Belon, for example, and they're just waiting for the next Belon. And they're not buying anything else. They're just holding on to their Belon because they're legit not wealthy and they're being very careful with their money. That seems like the smaller group than the people that get something about every 3 weeks or a month. And you add that up over the course of a year, and they've easily eclipsed the price of an ARE webinar, about $1,600, or the MEST, about the same price. JP version, about $1,600. So the myth that these budget IMs are changing the market is half true. They're changing the direction of consumers' money, but people aren't spending less money. As a matter of fact, people that are on that side in the budget Chifi might be spending more, actually. It's not hard to kind of calculate in your mind when you see people and the list of stuff that they purchased, and then you know when those have come out, and that means that they've spent that much money over the course of a year, and they're totally fine with that. That's the part of the hobby that they enjoy, that they can get 20 things in a year and not be impacted heavily by one purchase that they feel bad about. Though I think stuff like the MEST and the ARE webinar, you could probably return those if you didn't like it, buy it off of Amazon. I don't really support people testing stuff and using Amazon's return policy. That seems almost like cheating. But if you're ever scared of that amount of financial investment, you've usually got the backing to get out of it if you're not satisfied. That's the way that I assume it to be. I pay cash and I don't return my stuff. It usually goes to Patreons. But the person that left the comment and said, the Chifi is killing it, they are taking some of the money, but they're just redirecting it, and the people that they've captured in their web, thanks to people like myself, the dope man, are probably squeezing out more cash over an annual fiscal year than the bigger companies. It's kind of fascinating to watch. Some people legit can't help themselves, and other people, that's the whole fun of it. So, for the record, I'm going to continue to do the videos that I do and continue to look for the stuff and continue to try to maintain a list that is reflecting my true opinion. It's under construction still right now. If I were asked which way would you go, would you buy something cheap and save your money because the increase in performance is not as great, or would you save your money and buy something more expensive? I would save my money now that I've gone through this whole thing, because there are some things, like the two IMs I've just pointed out, that are actually exceptional. They are exceptional. They are almost true to life. The sound that you hear right now as you're listening, maybe you're not wearing headphones, you listen to speakers, is very close on a couple IMs that I've discovered, and I've just mentioned them. When you put them in your ear, that quality of sound is about the same as your ears themselves. Like you're listening to music with your ears, you stick earplugs with your IMs in your ears, you can almost mimic that same thing. Very rarely, but there are some things that do that, and they're about $1,600, and I mentioned two of them. I would go that route instead of buying 12 to 15 earphones per year, just because I could probably start spending money on other gear, whether it was computer gear or electric bicycles or whatever my boom was at that moment. I would have more money to do that than to keep chasing some kind of elusive end game in the $100 range. And if you're waiting for the next Belon, I am too. It's been about a year. And as a matter of fact, it's almost been exactly 12 months since I got the Belon 03. And I'm still waiting for something to beat that in its price range where I can say that that's better than Belon. It hasn't happened yet. YBF is close. If you can get a really good one, or one that's using beryllium, and a lot of people have, and they've said, I fucking love it, I use it every day. Like the Belon, people have bought 5 and 6 of those, and that's still $25 times 5, you know what I mean? $125. And they gave it to friends or family or their kids, or they got one in their car, they got one at their house, they got, like, the Belon has rescued a lot of people. Those are music lovers. They heard it and knew right away that that was a keeper. Give me a bunch before they stop selling this thing. Instead of chasing my tail and like, is this thing coming going to be any good? I know the Belon's good. Give me 4 of those. And you still actually are saving money there. I'm sorry for the ramble, but this was brought up because somebody said, hey, these guys are kicking ass and they really are changing the game. Yeah, kind of. They're redirecting the river of money towards themselves, but they're probably getting more money in total out of people because of the rapid release and the way that the aggressive marketing with lots of YouTubers and websites that are, you know, pushing stuff. And I'm part of that often. Though I try to stay ahead of the curve and get stuff at the end of the game, it's all bullshit. I'm a part of the problem. But just for the record, I would save the money and get the better quality gear than to keep gambling. But if you're into gambling, hey, keep going. But you're not really saving money. And so to that commenter, yeah, you're half right. Chifi did change the game. That's the part that you got right. People are saving money, not so much. Well, that's it, and I'm out. What was the point of this video? Just for the record, and I'm out.